Day 782, being Christopher Cruz. Just got off a coaching call. I feel like I say that like in every video. Just got off a coaching call, or just going for a walk, or just going to bed, or just woke up. Anyway, just got off a coaching call. Holy moly, was it incredibly good. So this is with one of my clients. He is, I think he's probably like in his 50s. Like maybe early 60s, late 50s, mid 50s. I don't know how to tell how old someone is. I just know that he's not a millennial. I know that. But he's such a good guy, such a big heart. He did my Lion and Sheep coaching program like a year and a half ago, and we're doing his purpose. And we just started, we were going to go over the problem that he was meant to solve, but we went over values. And his number one value is connection, then love, then unity, and then aliveness, which is crazy because he's got so much love, but he's so closed-hearted. And we end up having this, I didn't even know he had kids. Found out he has kids, doesn't really talk to him very much. Their relationship isn't very strong. And we just go into this deep conversation. Like God just nudged me. Like on all these calls, like, you know, my clients will be talking, and then I just get this like intuitive ping, just this nudge from God of like, go there, focus on that. And I never know what it's going to turn into, which is crazy because I should be like kind of like nervous or scared. Like, what do you mean, God, do you want me to talk about that? I know nothing about that. But I have absolute certainty because I know that when God guides me, he's going to also give me the answer. Like when God nudges me, it's because he wants me to go there, because he's about to take over the conversation. And so it was, the nudge was about his kids. And we have this like hour-long conversation about his relationship with his kids and, you know, the love and the connection that he truly wants, but he doesn't have in his own relationship with his parents. And a big thing that we talked about was childhood trauma. And I just I've seen people get stuck focusing on their childhood trauma for years and years and years, and it becomes more of a debilitation. Debilitation, is that a word? It becomes more of a hindrance, becomes more of a block than it does being something that sets them free. And it's crazy because, and he was doing the same thing. He was like, oh yeah, well, because my relationship with my parents when I was a kid, and I'm working through that. And it's like, you don't need to work through anything to fix your relationship with your kids. All you need is take action. You just need to be courageous, be vulnerable. That's it. Pick up the phone, be vulnerable. You don't need to figure out the relationship with your parents and why this happened. But it's like figuring out the childhood trauma is like just, it's like peeling an onion that never ends. And so I was just like real with him. It was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like whatever happened to you when you were a kid doesn't stop you from knowing what the right thing is to do now. Like, and you know, the right thing to do now is to open your heart to your kids. And it was just so powerful. And then God revealed this thing where he's like getting ready to build this community. It's like $100 million community, you know, for these kids on the island of Barbados or something like that. And he was so excited about it because there's going to be love, connection, unity, and aliveness, which are his core values. And then God showed me, but that's counterfeit. He's going to build the community, and the kids are going to have connection, love, unity, and aliveness, not him. So he's living vicariously through them. So it is counterfeit love, counterfeit connection, counterfeit aliveness, counterfeit unity. And God showed that to me, and we were both like, what? Like, how deceptive is that? He would have spent all this time and energy building this community, and all these kids would have connections with each other, but he'd be on the outside looking in. They wouldn't even know he existed. And we talked about this on our last call, that maybe he's not meant to just build communities, but he's meant to lead them. And he's got such a big heart, so it's obvious. But it's like God is just revealing this stuff to me about people that is so deep. It's like, oh, God is showing me the deception. He is showing me the deception. Wow. Dang, I have to stop. Yeah, these big realizations, these like massive aha moments that I'm having with every client, where we're going so deep on something where it's like, I don't know anything about that. How are we going this deep? I don't understand that. How am I explaining it? Like, and God is just really using me, and he is opening my eyes to the deception that people are facing. Whew. I have like, not anxiety, but like excitement. Wow. He's opening my eyes to the deception. Wow. Because every time like we go through this, when we have in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, look at the deception. Look at the deception, how brilliant it is. It is just like the deception of the enemy it's just like mind-blowingly deceptive. It's like, it's so deceptive that it's just like, how could anyone ever possibly see it? Like, how could anyone possibly see the deception when it is that deceitful, when it is that hidden, when it is that clever and cunning? Like, how could you ever see it? No wonder people are stuck in deception their entire lives. Like, it is just so deceiving. Like, that's just, oh man. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like a magic trick. Like, you know, when you see a magic trick for the first time, you're like, wow, that was amazing. But once you see how the trick was done, it never has the same impact on you again, because you can see it's a trick, and you can see, and you know how it's done. So if a magician tries to do the same trick on you, you're not deceived. And I feel like it's the same way with the devil. Like, he's going to deceive you in a way that you'll never even know. You won't even know you're being deceived. But then when God reveals the deception, you're like, what? That's what's been happening? I had no idea. I just thought I was living my life. I just thought that was this. I thought that was that. I thought I was just, whatever. And then you realize that the whole time it's been deception, and you can never unsee it again. Man, I feel so much like excitement. Not anxiety, excitement. It's just like, this is really significant. Like, God is opening my eyes to people's deception, to the deception that the devil has them. Look how beautiful that is. To the deception that he has them stuck in, the strongholds. Wow. Because I'm telling you, every one of these calls, I'm just blown away. And I don't have the mental exhaustion that I used to have after my calls. I only was doing 4 calls a week. Now I'm doing 3 to 5 calls a day. And I'm not mentally exhausted at the end like I used to be. I feel like it's almost more energizing and exciting, because like God is showing me the things I'd never seen before. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just blown away. Like, whoa, how did I never? It's just crazy. It's so crazy in the best way. So, wow. And I feel like the more that God can trust me with people, I feel like the more he's revealing the deception to me. Like this whole thing of being able to trust God, being able to trust me with people, to show him that I'm spiritually mature enough to take care of them when he sends them to me, and to speak life over them instead of death. Like, the more I do that, the more these realizations are coming where I haven't been trained in this stuff. Like, I'm not an expert at revealing these things. Like, I've always coached, like, based on intuition, and I've coached based on knowledge and things I've learned and been trained in and stuff like that. But this is a whole different level. Like, this is spiritual. This is spiritual warfare. And it's like, God is just showing it to me, and I'm just like, it is just, the deception is just, it's almost impossible to see. It's like impossible. Like, if you looked up in this tree, and among all those branches, somewhere there's a stick bug. The little bugs that look exactly like a long twig. Well, where would you see the stick bug? You can't. You can't, because it's so well camouflaged. It's so well hidden. The deception from the devil is so well hidden that most people spend their whole lives never even knowing it's there. That is scary if you think about it. That's why people need God, because the closer you get to God, the more he opens your eyes, the more you can see clearly. And the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. Like, when you don't know you're being deceived, you perish. Like, whew, man. It just makes me think about my own life. Like, where's my deception? You know, with the things I'm struggling with, like, you know, my weight, where's the deception there? You know, is the deception that I can't lose the weight? Is the deception I don't deserve to lose the weight? Is the deception that it's impossible? Like, it just makes me wonder, what's the deception that the devil's used that I've accepted as the truth? Because all deception is a lie. Deception is a lie that you've accepted as the truth. It's not deception until you've accepted the lie as the truth. So then it doesn't have any power. A lie doesn't have any power over you until you accept it as the truth. So, what lie have I accepted? It's a good question. Man, this is just so deep. There's just so much to everything that is happening. How do I even keep up? How do I keep up? How do I keep up? I just don't know. God's the only answer to all this stuff. But I just feel like I'm going 1,000 miles an hour and I'm stepping into new territory. And as much as I know what I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing. But I just have certainty because I know I'm not doing this. I know God's doing this. So I have absolute certainty that these calls are going to go perfectly, and they always do. That there's going to be big breakthroughs, and there always are. There's going to be transformations. There are going to be answers. There are going to be truths revealed, chains broken, strongholds broken. Like, I just believe it because I know I'm not the one doing it. And I think that's one of the massive benefits to giving credit to God, is you start to program your mind to make you realize that you're not the one doing this. So if you're not the one that's doing it, you don't have to rely on yourself to get the results, because you know that God's going to deliver the results. You just got to be an open vessel for him to work through you. So on these coaching calls, there's so many calls where I'm trying to do it, and in the middle of the call, I have this realization, like, Chris, you're not going to figure this out. You don't know where you're going with this. Give it to God. And I'll literally look down like I'm writing on my iPad, and I close my eyes, and I just, like, either in my mind or say really quietly, like, okay, God, please give us an answer here. Just take over. And there's not been a single call that I've had where, with a coaching client, where something hasn't gotten broken through. It's just incredible. So I just have this absolute certainty, not because I'm so great, but because God is so great. And it makes me think about, wow, I was listening to something where this pastor or whoever was talking about David and Goliath. And the reason why David could destroy Goliath and he was so confident, like, I don't need armor, I don't need a sword, is because it wasn't him versus David. It was God versus David. It wasn't him versus a giant. It was God versus a giant. And a giant is nothing to God. So it's not that he had so much belief in him, it's that he had so much belief in his God. And that's why it was effortless for him to kill Goliath. That's exactly how I feel with coaching. Like, going into these coaching calls, like, I'm fighting something. I'm not fighting anything. God is fighting it. Because if I go in these coaching calls and, like, how am I going to figure this out for them? I can't. I'm not trained enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. But it's not me versus the enemy attack on them. It's God versus the enemy attack on them. And he's just using me as the vehicle, just like he used David as the vehicle to destroy Goliath. Man, that is good. This stuff is so good. I need to get this stuff out there. Like, I'm excited to get this app. I'm excited to be able to send out, content like this to my clients, on a daily basis. Like, hey guys, I just realized this. I want to jump on and do a video real quick. And it doesn't have to be professional. It's gonna be a video like this where I'm walking down the street, like, just talking about, like, are you trying to fight Goliath, or are you letting God fight Goliath? Are you trying to solve all your problems? Are you letting God solve the problems? Doesn't mean you don't take action. You just take action in alignment with God, right? David, he took action in alignment with God. He knew he didn't need a sword and armor because he wasn't going to do the battle. So what actions are you taking that you don't need to take because you're trying to fight the battle? What actions would you take if you knew God was fighting the battle in the background? Then what actions would you take? Probably be much, much different. So just doing like a little video on that, like a little 10-minute video, and adding it to the group, like, hey guys, if you're struggling with anything and you need to let go of control, watch this video. Or I could have that video and I do it and I make it $10. Like, hey guys, I added just a mini training. It's only $10, so everyone can afford it. It's not an issue. Here it is. Here's a link to it. If you guys are struggling with letting go of control and you're trying to fight your own battles, I definitely recommend you guys get this. And you got 10 people who buy it for $10. There's $100 right there. Then I can use that to grow the business, the brand more. You know, I could make it $100, but I want to make it affordable for everyone. I want to make it doable for everyone. And I also want to bring in money to be able to grow this business and this brand, and to eventually hire the best of the best people in the world, like to hire brilliant people. And so it's also a business. Like, it's not just a charity, but I can have an amazing, incredibly profitable business by charging a price that everyone can have access to. I don't want anyone to be denied access to this information from God. Like, so I need to make the pricing just like a no-brainer. Like, it's not going to break the bank. And if someone can't afford the $10, message me, let me know, and I'll get you taken care of. So yeah, I eventually want like kind of like a scholarship pool where, you know, there are people who've been super blessed and they donate $10,000 to the Warriors of God scholarship thing. And there are people that come in to the programs and they really want to do the, you know, the $400 program, and they don't have the money. You know, maybe it's a single mom, she's raising 2 kids, and that $400 is like, you know, half her rent or something like that. Well, we have someone jump on a call, talk to her, see where her heart is. And it's like, hey, it's all good. You know, we have a scholarship program. See, and that's when the Acts 2 church in the Bible, the people sold all their land and they took the money and they divided it among the people who needed it. That's the kind of thing where it's like, wow, that is, okay. Wow. Dang. God is he's opening up my mind so powerfully. How cool. So cool. I'm so grateful. So blessed. Yeah.